Hi, thanks for tuning in. This is a brand new channel, ex-cop car dealer, as in I deal in ex-cop cars, police cars. So motor trade related, going to show like some buying, selling, touching them up, show what kind of money I can earn on them. I tend to work on quite small margins on these, but they fast turnaround. They're fairly popular run-of-the-mill cars that appeal to a mass market, such as what I'm sat in now. It's a 2019 diesel Vauxhall Astra 1.6 turbo diesel estate. Easy to sell, cheap to buy, cheap to sell, because they tend to, ex-police cars don't hold the value like a privately owned one would. However, they are maintained really well. So as with any YouTube channel, this is brand new, as with any YouTube creator, whatever you call them, would say, I'd really appreciate you to subscribe. As I do this now, I created the channel I think like 2 days ago. First video I'm uploading, no subscribers, no nothing yet, no views, because it's brand new. This is the first bit. So I'd love you to subscribe, come along maybe on this journey, see what you think. Maybe you want to get into the motor trade, maybe you just have opinions, maybe you just love cars like I do. So this Caravan, I'll show some clips of it. It's a late 2019 69 plate Vauxhall Astra 1.6 CDTI estate in white, like most of them are. Had a couple of holes in the roof, are filled, no stereo like most of them don't have, because they've had the police communication equipment there. But as I said, they're cheap to buy, cheap to tidy up, cheap to sell. I'm asking for this. Granted, it's on 160,000 miles, but it's the late 2019. It's like, what, 5.5 years old. On the V5 shows us 0 previous owners, because the police obviously owned it from new. The maintenance records are absolutely impeccable, and I'm asking 2,895 for this, and it's actually in really good condition. Other than needing a stereo, the wiring's there. It's in remarkably good condition for a police car. So not a lot of money. Similar cars that are not ex-police, that are going to have your stereo, navigation, whatever, on Auto Trader, are kind of similar mileage and age. They're looking at 4.5 grand upwards. Some are asking 5, 6. Probably quite a lot for a 160,000 mile car. But with the service history they have, they're good value. So I'll go through in later videos what I bought the car for, what I buy other ones for, how much I spend on prepping, marketing them, any servicing, MOTs and things. And then selling them. One thing is, most police cars have never had an MOT in their life. I think the police have. I don't know exactly what it's called. They have their own set of standards where I think their maintenance schedule is higher than that of a regular car owned by the general public. So it's a bit like when taxis go in for a 6 weekly check or whatever, or HGV, not taxis, HGVs and buses and stuff. So the police cars are the same. They're exempt from MOTs because they're so well looked after. They always come with really good tyres. Generally very good brakes. This looks like it's had recent discs and pads. The tyres are all matching Goodyears all around, got loads of tread, probably 5-6 mil of tread all around, which is fairly typical of the ex-police cars. So I took it in for an MOT and it passed. It had one tiny advisory, and it's on this seatbelt. I don't even know why I mentioned it. I don't know if you can see it. The tester said slight fraying of driver's seatbelt. It's nothing. It's like a bit of fluff hanging off. I don't know why I found that. On this channel, I don't want to make it like just another bloody car video YouTube channel, because there's so many out there, and I think there's some really good ones, but some of them are so monotonous and repetitive and boring. You know, you get someone valets the car and shows you how to wash it, as if no one knows how to use a bloody jet wash. You know, they're not. I want to try and create something a bit different, so I've got to get some ideas together. But what I'm not going to do is go around filming saying this is what I did. So I'll tell you briefly what I did. This is white, like most of the police cars are. I've got a can in the matching colour of white spray paint. Sprayed, give it a good shake, sprayed a bit into the lid here. Got a little artist paintbrush that's, you know, a couple of mil thick, and all the little stone chips, which it had plenty of on the bonnet. All they dip the brush in and they just gently touch up each stone chip at a little bit at a time. It's doing it in the sun today, so it dries quickly. And is it absolutely perfect? No, but it looks loads better than it did, because other than the conditions good, it did have plenty of stone chips and minor scrapes. So cheap way of doing it. 6-7 quid for a can of spray paint. Give it a good shake, spray a little bit in the lid, little thin artist paintbrush, and just gently dab. You can't fill holes with it, but just gently dab the stone chips. Looks loads better straight away. There was a scratch on the bonnet which was a couple of mil deep, and it was probably about 2 inches long, and I did it gently with this, and you can barely see it's there. What I'll do after, just so that the paint stays, get a can of lacquer, clear coat, same thing, good shake, spray a bit in the lid, and just touch up in the same way with a fresh brush over the touch-ups have done, so that it hardens and people don't put it through the jet wash and all the stone chips come back again. Other thing I'm doing, got this alloy wheel touch-up paint, because it's got, like most cars, have got curbed alloys. This was on one of these Chinese websites like Temu or something like that, and I think it was something daft like £1.06. It was ridiculously cheap, so I bought 10 of them to keep them in. Probably going to last about 5 years, those 10 of them. But All you do, give the wheels a clean at the jet wash. It's a little scuff mat. If it had anything deep, I would sand it, put a bit of filler in, sand it down, smooth it, maybe spray the whole wheel clear coat. But again, at this price and value of the car, just to make it look good, where it's been slightly curbed on all wheels, I'm just going to go around and use the alloy touch-up paint. It's not necessarily a perfect match to the colour of the wheel, but alloys are generally, if they're silver, that generic colour, pretty much the same, aren't they? I've used this before on my own car, and it's pretty good. So I'm going to touch it up. I'll do some later videos on, as I said, what I bought it for, what cars I'm looking at to buy in the future. One thing I'm going to steer clear from of the ex-police cars are any of the BMWs. I cannot believe I've been looking at the decommissioning centre. There's a place over near Heathrow Airport, West London. A big decommissioning centre where the ex-police cars go and they get stripped down, lights taken off and out, radio equipment taken out and everything. And I can't believe, I've been looking at these now for weeks and weeks and weeks, how many ex-police BMWs, whether it's 5 Series, 3 Series, X5s, whatever they are described as, they're described as holed engine. And I think what it normally is, like a connection rod has blown, and it's quite literally blown a hole in the bottom half of the engine, and the engine is completely knackered. It's alright, it needs a new engine. I know police cars, the motorway police, like the Volvos and the BMWs, of course they're driven hard, they're probably in pursuit sometimes, 140, 150 miles an hour, they're accelerating hard and they're catching up with someone. But you'd think, wouldn't you, a BMW that's 3-4 years old and big engine, you know, a 530 diesel or an X5 with a 3 or 4 litre diesel engine, you'd think, wouldn't you, when they're really well maintained and they're driven by professional drivers and they're running day and night with a day shift and night shift, whatever, so the engine's always warm, the oil's warm, there's no friction, you would think that they'd last more than a few years, wouldn't you? These are cars that are probably like 40, 50, 60 grand new. It's shocking how many of them. So I'm steering clear of BMWs, because even if I buy one running, I might drive it home or someone drives it down the road and the bloody connection rod or I get a hole in the engine. I can't believe how bad the BMWs are, in my opinion, from what I've seen. I've looked at loads of them, 3 Series, 5 Series, X5s, loads of them. Seems in stark contrast to the Volvos. I am going to probably try some of the Volvos, the V90s, the S90s, the XC90s that, again, the motorway police use. They're obviously going to be a bit more prestige and a bit more price than this Astra. But I don't see them with the naked engines like the BMW, so I imagine the Volvos are a lot more robust and reliable from what I've seen of ex-police cars, at least. They're going to be driven just as hard, aren't they? So I'm going to make this video not just about valeting and touching up and doing bits and bobs. I want to find some interesting content to try and be different from the myriad of YouTube videos out there on cars. As I said, I subscribe to several. I really like some of them. I think they're really entertaining, engaging. I learn a few things from them, but some of them are a bit boring. So I'm going to try and do it a bit different. Thanks for listening to this. I know this is only a bit of an introduction video. I'm going to add some photos of this Astra that I've got now, some of the ones that I'm buying, and as they buy and sell, give you a bit of an update as to what's happening. But please do subscribe, and I hope you find something interesting. And if you're willing to share this with anyone else, I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, so as you know, the channel, it's Cop Car Dealer, YouTube @Cop Car Dealer. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in some more videos.